I am Kahreela An-Ra, and this is a channeled message from the Rainbow Grandmothers. And I ask that the guidance that is in the highest good and greatest joy of all always flows through me now. We are the Rainbow Grandmothers, and we sit open-hearted in ceremonial circle with you now. We ask you to feel the ancient love that streams from our hearts into you, and also to perceive us, the ancient women whose hair is made of light. And we invite you to become aware that one of us, the one that is closest to you, is placing her hand upon your body, and we ask you to notice where she is placing her hand for. It is relevant to you. And we say to you that in these glorious and tricky times that you are living through this ascension process, there is so much information, so many activations and tools being offered to you to assist your ascension. But we would like to speak of the less jazzy, shiny, flashy side of the ascension process. We would like you to turn your attention to the other side of things, which is that the more you activate, the more you must grieve. And that it is necessary to give time and space and presence and awareness to the countercurrents of the ascension process, which is the currents of grief. In your case, the great letting go of all that it means to be Piscean. And we say at the time of recording and in the future timeline, whenever it is aligned for you to listen, you are listening, because it is a moment of your own grief process. And this particular grief process is not an emotional grief as much as it is a physical one. For in order to physically ascend, your body must let go of so much information. The score within the body in a process of grief. Reorientate. And where the grandmother is touching you physically, is where the body has been holding on to who you used to be. And as the grandmother touches you here, if you have an awareness of the chakras, then you may understand that wherever this part of your body is being touched, it is also connected to a chakric level of consciousness. Or later on, you can look up the meaning of the part of the body that is being touched. And the rainbow grandmother is crying on behalf of your body. Her touch and her empathy is assisting your body in your body's grief process. And we will speak to you about what your body has begun to grieve. It is the loyalty to the ancestors of the time of separation. For it is necessary to let go of this loyalty. So that you can be loyal to the divine progress. It is the loyalty towards the way things were. That your body needs to grieve in order for you to open up to the potential of the new world. And as the grandmother cries for you, we ask you to be aware of your ancestors. For often you perceive the ancestral blocks that you carry, the resistances, from the historical hindsight's point of view. For example, many of you carry the witch wound, perceiving that you cannot be visible in your magic and your power. Because of the persecution of your magical ancestors. And that this memory of persecution stops you from being visible, from entering into the light. And yet, what is necessary for you to understand is that your ancestors in separation had to do their magic in the dark. And if your ancestors had the opportunity that you have, if it was possible for them to be visible, they would have run towards that possibility, not resisted it. the cage. Bird will flee the cage. Visibility was everything. That these people dreamed and wished and willed and seeded. And passed into you. And it is time for these seeds that preserve the magic in the darkest of time. To be exposed to light and relationship and emotion. To be germinated by being in the world. And so you can let these old ancestral resistances to being yourself, to being safe, in the world that, as we have said, are mainly resistances from your historical hindsight perspective, rather than actual truth. For those ancestors would have run towards the opportunity to live their magic in the light because it wasn't available to them. And that magic in the light is the difference between a world in black and white or a world in color. And who would not run towards color? And so you do not need to be loyal to this story. You do not need to be loyal. to the ancestors of the age of separation. For your liberation is their liberation. It is all that they dreamed. And longed and willed and hoped for. You feel this ancient grandmother crying on behalf of your body. For grief is in some ways letting go of loyalty. And every time a loyalty is undone, then that loyalty is able to become loyal to the divine. And notice that as this grandmother grieves, your body is letting go of loyalty. To anything from the age of separation. And thus it is becoming loyal to the divine. We say to you that in the process of your ascension, it is necessary to give your body the time and space and attention that it needs to be able to grieve. And very often after a ceremony or an event or a retreat, the next day you feel sad. And you reject this sadness. instead of holding space for it, instead of recognizing that what that sadness is the grief process. That allows the activation to integrate. The grief process where the body lets go of the loyalties. That stop that activation from becoming who you are. We say next time, you feel this sadness. Listen to this. It is our gift to you. And you will notice that by feeling the rainbow grandmother crying for you, you have freed the body from ancestral loyalty. And there is a lightness in the place that she was touching. And if you listen carefully, there is a cheer. From your ancestors. Who want more than anything for you to walk out of the darkness that they were forced to be in. They want you to abandon all of the contractions and resistances and cages of separation. They want their world not to be your world. They want you to be loyal to the divine progress. To be their destiny. And noticing how you are feeling as the rainbow grandmother removes her hand from your body and showers you in golden light. So that any energy that does not serve or belong is sent into the alchemy of the soil. Noticing how you feel as a beam of source light comes in. Breathing in love, breathing out gratitude. Breathing in love, breathing out gratitude. And when you're ready, opening your eyes to this new beginning.